And go. Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi. It's another
How you doing?
episode. We're here. We're doing it.
Right. Yeah, we're doing the thing again.
Mm-hmm.
You told us not to.
They keep
We
telling
know
us
this.
not to. I've received
They
many
keep
letters
telling
from lawyers. I don't know what we're
So
doing
many
that's
lawyers.
illegal, but
Existing. I don't know. Breathing. Doing a podcast that doesn't, have more than the occasional repeat viewer. I wonder if they're here tonight. Oh boy, I hope we find out soon. Welcome to DrawBomb. This is a show where we draw and usually. Yeah, we tend to bomb, and we try and hold the conversations while drawing, which is very difficult to do, it turns out. I've been finding out over the course of this show is it's really hard to draw and talk.
it's very easy to stop drawing.
Yes.
While talking. And that I found I'm pretty good at, but I'm trying to not be good at it.
Me too. I tend to gesticulate a lot when I'm talking with my hands. People say that's the Italian in me, but I think that's just because I'm just very animated when I talk. But I'll frequently be talking about something on this show and then start gesticulating with my hands, and then all of a sudden, oops, where did all that progress on Ian's drawing go? It didn't go
It never
anywhere.
existed.
Yep. Poof, into the ether.
Man, there's a lot of stuff in the ether, so I mean, there has to be, because stuff's constantly going into the ether.
I mean,
Where's the ether?
a lot of my breath must be in the ether because I keep huffing it, man. Like, I tell you what, whatever's in that ether, it's good shit.
Love ether.
It's probably all those, like, thoughts that have been you just, like, take a big huff from the rag and you just go, oh, yeah, all those thoughts that were never really, like, they were brought up but then never really capitalized on.
They weren't flushed out properly.
There was a possibility of this thing happening after somebody brought it up. Oh, yeah.
And, the show couldn't be possible without ether. I recently connected my Ethernet cable, and now
Oh, that's true.
I'm here.
This episode is brought to you by Ether, Ike's up B smash move in Super Smash Brothers. Both Melee, Brawl, and I think the newest one, whichever that one's fucking called. That's true.
Smash. Super. It's called Extra Smash.
Is it really?
No.
How can I trust anything you say anymore if you
I
keep
don't know.
lying to me like
You
this?
just gotta be on the edge of your seat.
I guess so. As you can see, I'm focusing on the letters first because I want to make sure my dude is not at all like your dude. Oh, I like what you got going on. Is that like a skull bomb?
Something like that. I don't really know.
Nice.
We'll
Oh,
find
you know
out
what
it
game
is
I'm-
when it's done.
You know what game I'm probably thinking of for this fight screen? Let me see if it looks anything like this.
Street Puncher.
No, it doesn't end up. No. I was gonna say Clay Fighter, but no. But your dude gives me heavy Clay Fighter vibes, at least right now. Not since you've added the eyeballs. But did you ever play
sorry
Clay
to
Fighter?
ruined it. A little
Ruined it!
Super Nintendo.
What was that? It was Super Nintendo. I played the Sega Genesis version, and there was also a Nintendo 60 version my neighbor had that we played around with a little bit.
Okay.
The Nintendo 64 version and the Sega Genesis version, it was Clay Fighter because like the concept was the characters could conceivably be made of clay. I'm looking at the screenshots. It looked like they are photo scans of possibly like clay sculptures. But what was that?
It took the design, like the way that Street Fighter works, or not Street
Yeah.
Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you look at the Nintendo 64 version, obviously they could afford higher quality things. Those definitely looked all clay. And the game kind of looked kind of unsettling for it.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it was cool because so Clay Fighter 1 was just a regular ass, fighting game. Like you're on the left side of the screen, the other dude's on the right side of the screen. You both shout stuff as you do your moves. End boss is fucking impossible.
Sounds like most fighting games.
Yeah, but the sequel or the Nintendo 64 version was really cool because a lot of games have done this, but this is one of the first games I think to do this. But you would be in this background, and then if you would hit each other towards the wall or something like that, you would hit them into the next area, and all of the stages in the game were on the same island, so you could actually literally travel in the single fight from one end of the island around back to the other end of the island and then back to your level again. It was kind of cool. Basically when I would play with my friends, we wouldn't even fight each other. We'd just be okay, let's go this way, let's see what's over here. Yeah, we'd go exploring.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, that does seem like that was kind of ahead of its time at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat definitely.
You could knock each other into a different kind of off area.
Did Ford do that sort of stuff though? I know wrestling games.
Which did it?
I know wrestling games definitely did that sort of thing.
Yeah.
With the backstage balls.
That actually did it, but depends on how early they were.
Yeah, they were pretty early, I believe. I'm looking at the one link right now that says Bad Game Hall of Fame, and I'm like, how dare you, sir? I mean, I didn't really play the game a whole lot, but how dare you?
You got fun out of it.
That thing was a pivotal piece of my childhood. How dare you?
It wouldn't be where they were today, if not for the Clay Fighter.
I must send a harassment campaign on you, sir. Swoosh. Dear sir and or madam.
You have besmirched.
You have besmirched thine honor of Clay Fighter 63.5. They called it that because it was, trendy to call your Nintendo 64 games, something 64. So they called it 63.5.
Very clever.
I know, right? Whew, you really got the vibe of the comedy of the game right out the gate.
Yeah.
Anyway!
You read the cover and you instantly know you're in for a laugh hoot riot.
A hoot nanny.
Your knee is going to be bruised from all the slaps.
Gosh damn. You be ham boning up a storm as you laugh and guffaw. Sir or madam, now that you have tarnished the good name and sullied it of Clay Fighter 63.5, I fear that I must say a most horrific pox and curse you with it. I do hope that thou ceases to live. Now, sir, madam, now that I have said this dreaded thing, I must be on my way. Yes. I must be on my way. For you see, my voice seems to be rising in pitch every hour on the hour. I must seek a general physician. I must seek a general physician, for these symptoms seem to be worsening, and I will be looking at.
Just you can just keep writing, but you don't have to speak it out loud as you write it.
That's true. This was all. I forgot that you were supposed to imagine a tick tick tick, like a typewriter noise while I was doing that voice.
Oh, I imagined it. It was like it was here.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. You always hear the pencil scribbling in Stan. He's like, "Yo, slam."
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. What?
In the song "Stan" by Eminem.
Oh yeah, okay.
They always have the sound of that pencil going on in the foreground, and I hate it because I'm just okay, 3 times was fine, but you don't gotta have it looping over the whole verse. I mean, come on, guys. I get it. You're setting up a story.
I guess
please,
Stan is
right
well
in my
known,
ears.
but I guess to just when you were referencing that, to just straight up say Stan and expect me to know what you're talking about is...
I'm sorry.
No,
I
you don't
forgot.
have to be sorry.
I forgot
should I
that.
have known that? Obviously,
It's-
he's talking about the 2010 hit. I don't know what you're about.
Dido hit.
Yeah, actually. Stan, featuring... Who played him in the weird music video?
Stan. Eminem played himself and Stan.
Who played Stan? No, it was some other guy.
Wasn't it? I thought it was Eminem playing.
That was an actor at the time. I can't think of his name. But he had like his hair all dyed, and he was like supposed to be like a big fan.
Yeah, so he made himself look. Oh, you're right. That isn't. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I forgot. Who is in that music video? That is
an actor.
Devon Sawa. He was in Little Giants.
Yes, he was.
Casper.
Yes, he was.
Now and
Those are not the ones that I would have thought of, but it is true. He was in Slackers,
Right.
wasn't he?
Does not say that, but I mean,
maybe
there's a
not.
longer
Maybe I
list
just-
over here.
Don't know.
Oh, he was in Extreme Ops. We talked about that movie earlier on the show. I talked about Extreme Ops, or when I say we, I mean I did. Like I generally go off on my
Comes
ring.
full circle.
It sure does. And that's like when I looked up this dude, his name was Purple. Like the link was purple, which meant like I had looked it up before, and I was like, what the fuck? Why did I ever
Always
look up
looking
this
that up.
random ass dude? Yeah, you know what I think we're gonna do today? I think we're gonna look up Devon Sawa. Or Devon, I don't know. Probably Devon. He's like a white Canadian dude.
Devon. Sawa.
Devon. Devon Sawa. Oh, you know what? Speaking of names, okay, I thought of a stupid ass punny name that you could give like a Phoenix Wright character, because like all the Phoenix Wright characters have like dumb pun names that I love.
I still never played Phoenix Wright.
Ah, it's so good.
It's like,
I'm
they
thinking
just
about.
released the entire thing on Switch, and I'm debating on buying it just because.
I highly recommend it. I was thinking about picking it up for the PC so I could just play it again, because I the first time I played, I had to borrow a friend's DS. He was just like, "You have to play these, so feel free." But they're great games. I'm a big fan. They're pretty frustrating sometimes, but like they're like a puzzle game. But like I've never, aside from like maybe once or twice, I've never felt like, oh, what the fuck? That's stupid. How would I have ever guessed that?
Like,
but,
things are solvable.
Yes. It's almost a point and click game, but like I gotta tell you what, those fucking courtroom segments, they do get your blood pumping, man.
Alright, sold.
The best part is though, like solving the case. Like honestly, because like every case, wait, I'm gonna spoil it for you, not like specifically, but like every
I don't
Phoenix
want any real
Wright,
spoilers because I'm gonna play it.
yeah, every Phoenix Wright case goes like, hey, it's not what it seems in the beginning. Like that's what it always is. So like that's as much as I could go more in depth, but still keeping it very vague. But like it's not what it seems in the beginning.
Okay.
So as you sort of unravel the mystery, it's just really, I don't know, it's engaging.
Cool.
It's really engaging shit. And the characters are fun. And Phoenix Wright as a character is pretty cool. Like none of the I don't hate any of the characters actually. Like in a lot of games, especially like Japanese anime sort of styled games, I usually like find a thing or
obnoxious characters.
yeah, obnoxious characters or just things that they do. But in those series, they're pretty I mean, it's kind of got some cheesy stuff in there, like the sort of plot points where you're like, oh, because this is an anime, I like, I will
Only happen in this kind of.
exactly.
I'm okay
Yeah,
with that.
but for the most part though, like even when those happen, I'm kind of like, oh, but that was charming. I mean, it wasn't like it was surprising, and that's good.
Alright,
It's a very charming game series, and the art's fun.
I'm in.
Yeah, go for it. The animation in Apollo Justice, which is like, they made 3 Phoenix Wright games, and then they made Apollo Justice, which takes place like 20 years in the future, I want to say. One, Phoenix Wright is like really cool in those. But 2, like between Phoenix Wright, okay, so between Phoenix Wright 1 and Phoenix Wright 3, they definitely got more budget. So like the artwork looks a lot better by the 3rd game. Like the first game kind of like the artwork's very jagged. They've probably, remastered it since then. But then when you get to Apollo Justice, like 1, the art is super slick and like nice and like looks really crisp. And then like this one dude does this like he air guitars in this one animation because like that's how like every character has like this animation that they do whenever they're like, yeah, I nailed it. So he does like an air guitar. And the animation is so good when he does it. I was just like when I was playing it, I was just like, wow, what great animation.
Well, if I like Phoenix right enough, I'll do that one too.
Yeah, go for it, man. I mean, it's just more of the same, except, you know, like each Phoenix Wright game usually introduces a new gameplay mechanic to keep things fresh, but keeping the core, you know, concept. All right, time to do my character. I like how you kind of got like an almost, what's his name? Mike Magnolia sort of vibe with the face, like the thick outlines and the sort of cast shadow.
Well, I'm honored. Do you like me some Mike?
Me
some
too,
Mike
man.
Magnolia.
Mike Magnolia. So what you been up to this past week?
Oh boy, it's a tough question these days. Because the answer is always not much.
Busy.
Yeah, busy. Yeah, not much. You know, still quarantined over here.
Over there.
Yeah, so playing some games. Beat Doom Eternal, which was
yeah.
good. I enjoyed it.
Glad you did.
And now I've started. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go all in. I'm thinking that I'm enjoying it, so I probably will. But I've started playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Odyssey.
It's you know, it's a little buggy and stuff, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. I haven't played one of those in a while, so it feels somewhat fresh.
Yeah. Did me starting up the series kind of encourage you, or was it just the release of Odyssey?
Yeah, actually
recently?
it did. Because I mean, that had been out for a while, and I don't know. I'd been kind of on the fence about even trying it. I don't think I was going to, and then yeah, the fact that you're playing them again, I'm like, well, maybe I'll.
Yeah, we can talk about them. I you know, decided to start playing them just because we got Uplay Plus to play the Division 2, and like no one fucking plays that in our group anymore, and I'm kind of like I mean I'm not like itching to get back into the Division 2, but it also feels like it's always funny because like we were like as a group we were like, and not like the group, me and Austin and Jay, and I consider you a part of that group too, but like, you know, we it's you know, there's a more vocal part of that group. Anyways, so we were all talking about like what game we were going to play as a group next, and we were like, yeah, Division 2, I think that sounds good. Like it's kind of the game where it hits all the, because like the hard part is none of us likes the same thing out of our multiplayer games.
Yeah.
So like Kyle's always super into like the competitive, like skill based, like versus like he likes squaring off against an opponent and coming out the better man. Austin very much likes like just sort of in-depth immersive experiences, while also like he likes to have a novelty sort of thing going on with them, but he also prefers that the graphics are really nice. And then everyone else just has other different things that they're into. I think Jay's kind of similar to Kyle. He just likes to like whoop ass in an online game. But me, I just like to co-op with people. So like it's hard to get us all to like we all want to play something together, but it's hard to get us all to agree on something.
Yeah. I can see that. When you were describing what everybody likes, I'm like trying to think what I would say, and I don't know. I'm not very picky. I just like something new that is fun.
Yeah, like when you think of like your ideal online experience.
It's hard
like
to
if you
narrow down what it is that makes it ideal. I like something that is fun co-op.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not great at competitive stuff. I don't hate it, but it also doesn't like draw me in because it's usually just me losing a bunch, which.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan
still
of the competitive
fun, but
stuff.
It's not good. I'm not anti those games. I just did not like my. I don't seek them out. I like. I don't know. When I know, but I don't know. I like creative. Like I like playing stuff that's kind of unique and
Yeah.
fun sometimes, but I also am cool playing the same old stuff.
So for me, I like one co-op. First of all, I'm not a big fan of like competitive stuff. Like, I don't give a shit if you're better than me at this game. Like,
Yeah.
fine.
What does it
I don't
change
care.
anything for me?
Yeah, like it's a fucking video game. Like, call me when you're better at, you know, actually hunting down and killing a human. I guess I don't know.
Don't call me when you are. I don't.
Yeah, please don't actually. Like, let's
Leave me
not.
out of there.
Yeah. But the so I like a cooperative. I like a cooperative experience. I like having like a nice open world to explore. I mean that goes for single player too. But if it's a cooperative, like if it's an open world, and I can do it with my buddy, like, oh joy, that's the best.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I like having like.
I think types of games we like.
Yeah, we do like very similar games. I do prefer like if it's an open world that there's like a lot of sandbox elements to it. So like for instance, in the beginning of Half-Life 2, when you can just like dick around and like talk to folks and like throw their shit out the window and stuff like that. Like that's probably the most fun part of Half-Life 2 in my opinion. I mean, obviously the rest of it's very fun, like shooting people and et cetera, but I liked that part of the game where it's just kind of like they're immersing you in this world, but also you can completely like break the illusion that they're like the story sort of vibe that they're trying to give you. Yeah. I likes to hang loose. So yeah. So
I love those points. I also like games where not a lot of games these days use this as a way to make their games really terrible, but I do like some loot, and like I do like feeling like my time I put in earns me more cool shit. Not in a pay to play way. That'll turn me off immediately and I don't play that game. But if it's like, I don't know, if I'm finding stuff along the way that makes my character cooler, I'm into that.
Yeah. I think you also, I mean, just from my experience, you seem to also gravitate towards games where with like not necessarily exactly like Minecraft, but like with a sort of building like atmosphere to it, like games where it's
I've played a lot of them.
Where
I like
it's like you
creativity.
I
like being able to kind of build my own way to play.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I would agree with that. But also I do get fatigued of those types of games after too many of them in a row and need like
me too.
some time off.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like
I like games.
I like games, bro. That's really what it comes down to. I've been playing
stuff.
Yakuza lately. I've been playing Yakuza Kiwami, I believe it's called. Have you ever like dipped your toe into the Yakuza games?
Not even a little bit actually.
I played a demo of the very first Yakuza game, like way back when I had official PlayStation magazine, and they were like still doing the PS2 demo discs of like.
When you said way back, you meant way back.
Yeah, I'm talking like the olden days. Like some kids weren't even born. 9/11 was just a fresh memory in our minds.
I mean, for the second thing, yes, but the first one is not any basis of time. Some kids weren't even born.
Some kids weren't even born before this show.
Yesterday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or,
just think about it.
Yeah.
But so I played it and I enjoyed what I played, but you know the demo discs never really give you the full experience.
Right.
Like 2 or 3 were like robust enough to like give you a full like I remember the Ratchet and Clank demos were always fucking dope, and like a lot of the demos would be like once this demo is ran for 30 minutes it's gonna shut itself off automatically, or if you don't touch the controls for long enough, or if you accidentally try and open the map. I remember the Ratchet and Clank demos were always just like play as much as you want, level your weapon up as much as you want, play the arena. We don't give a fuck because guess what? We know you're gonna play the real ass game.
And sure, because it's good as shit.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like once I played the demo, I was just like, oh, I gotta get my fucking hands on this game.
That was the first PlayStation 2 game I bought.
Really, Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah.
I actually never owned a copy. I always borrowed a friend's. I borrowed like a friend's copy of all the games at once and just like marathoned them, including Deadlocked.
That's a good game.
This character I'm drawing, by the way,
Yeah.
might take some time because I'm realizing like.
Mine's taking a while too.
Okay, cool. I just I'm going a little ambitious with this idea, but I think it's kind of clever. I think it's clever.
I also like games that I like some cinematic. It doesn't have to be in it, but it does get me super immersed if there's some like
Yes.
you know, cinematic qualities or like cool set pieces or like things that I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Character customization, I'm definitely a sucker for.
I like that.
If I can buy my character a whole bunch of dumb, like the thing, I love character, I think I've already said this before, but I love the character customization things in games because like, I'll use it, like I love designing characters, so like, whenever I've made a dude in Dark Souls or even like in Demon Souls, my dude was Eubanks, and he was bald, he had a big red nose, and like, he just carried a giant sword around, and he was dope as fuck, and I like, didn't even change his outfit the entire game. And like, he was fun. I liked Eubanks. So I like, you know, like I like kind of creating these characters, and maybe I can use them like at some point in a project or something like that. But
I love, like I said before, I like anything that gives me the opportunity to be creative.
Yeah.
Make it my own a little bit. I love that. Eat it up.
Eat it up, yum yum.
Yeah. And I like games where as you progress, it makes you feel more like you're more powerful or you've earned something along the way.
Yeah, I like games where like as I'm going through it, like the city I'm in like upgrades or like people, like I like, you know, the sense of progress kind of thing. If you're gonna have me like doing a bunch of shit,
I want my
Like,
time to have
feel
some
it.
physical, like visual representation that I've been doing stuff.
yeah. Yakuza is pretty cool. It's like, do you know like what the gameplay is like, and do you
I
have,
don't
like
know
what's
anything
your
about it, honestly.
nothing at all? Okay, so first of all, Yakuza is made by the creator of Kirby,
Okay.
which is very
Like that,
funny. Yeah, it's like that, but it's exactly like Kirby. Actually, I gotta show you this before and after picture. It's gonna take time off of this already
Alright.
time-consuming drawing I'm doing. Feel free to start coloring the shit on mine at any point when I'm still working on the drawing. But I'm gonna just show you the Kirby creator versus Kirby versus Yakuza. I'm trying to see if I can just find the meme image I saw, but it's like what the dude who made Kirby looked like back when he started making Kirby, and then like what he tends to go dressed like nowadays. now that he's been making the Yakuza series. Just looking right here. Kirby creator Michiko Sakurai. Or is it Masahiro Sakurai?
No one knows. That's
No.
part of the mystery.
No, Sakurai is the guy who does Super Smash Brothers. I'm not sure why they keep popping him up at the top of. Oh, I guess it was originally created by him, but he's not the same guy. I'm looking for.
Well, that's why it looks so different. It's not
Yeah, it's a different guy. No, it's like a specific developer. It's gonna bug me. All right, you know what? It would be easier if I looked up the Yakuza developer. Oh, there it is. I just found the search I do. Okay, so here is what he looked like when he was doing Kirby. Okay. Normal dude.
Yeah.
Chilling.
You know, you just got done making a game about cotton candy.
Yeah.
Fighting a bunch of shit. Alright, cool. Yep.
So now the dude, I gotta find the best picture of it because, yeah. Now the dude looks like this.
Whoa. He's on a throne too.
Yeah, no, he's just like living up the Yakuza sort of vibe with it, and it's like here's a side by side in the image, I guess. Or no. This is different. This is something else. I was gonna say that dude does not. But yeah, same guy apparently.
Right.
I'm just gonna confirm. Yep. Yeah. Same guy. Anyways, so it's just kind of a crazy transformation. But anyways, the Yakuza series, just me getting very off base and again dilly-dallying from drawing. But the Yakuza series is about like you're a dude who's in the Yakuza, go figure, big surprise. And you're about to like start your own family. You're about to get permission from your patriarch to start your own, separate entity inside their Yakuza syndicate.
Okay.
And but you're like a good Yakuza guy. People are like, hey man, you gonna like fuck people up when you're like when you're the boss, and you're just like, nah dude, I'm gonna be like a good dude. I'm gonna do like some nice shit.
Out hugs, not
boobs. Yeah. Yakuza, more like Achu bless yous.
Choose not to do.
I choose not to beat you up. It's a me, Mario.
Okay, so he's a good Yakuza.
He's a good Yakuza, so like, but like you can also like you're like the head beat the shit out of people guy.
Okay.
So anyways, your buddy kills this mob boss because the mob boss is like trying to sexually assault like your longtime friend. You're all like from an orphanage or something like that.
All right.
And then you're put in prison for 10 years. The classic Tommy Vercetti setup. The Tommy Vercetti. And then that's like the first chapter, and then the rest of the game is like you basically solving the mystery of like some new murders of like mafia bosses after like getting out of prison 10 years later, and like how everyone's changed and you trying to get your life back together.
And they're pretty fun.
I mean, so far I'm having a good time. I've never actually played any of them before, so like this Kiwami is like a remake. It's like a remaster of. It's not a remake because it's like they just improved the graphics, but like very, very improved. But it's a remaster of the original PS2 game, the first one.
Okay.
The series progression is a little confusing because you may have noticed that they have Yakuza 0 on Game Pass, and Yakuza 0 came out, I believe, after 5, and it's a prequel.
Oh.
But it's like
it's 0.
Hence the 0, but it's like a more modern game. It's been up. It's got the updated gram graphs.
Wow. This all just sounds like a great time.
Yeah. So it's a beat 'em up game. Like you fight dudes. You have an open world. Like you have like a district of like Japan. I'm not sure which city it's in exactly. I think it's Tokyo, but I don't think so actually. But anyways. So you have this like district that you walk around and you can like visit like clubs to do karaoke. They have like a whole shit ton like stupid mini games you can do on the side. But then as you're like walking around, people keep walking up to you trying to beat the shit out of you, and then you just lay the smack down. And then sometimes they'll have like big segments where you're running around laying the smack down on multiple people in multiple places.
Wow. All right. Well,
Yeah.
That sounds pretty fun.
It's so far I'm enjoying it. I'm only on chapter 4 so far, and the first chapter is the first chapter is kind of brilliant. I was thinking about this as I was playing it, but like, so the first chapter of the game is okay. Well, actually, first of all, the game does one of my pet peeves with the story, which is you start in media res in the middle of something happening. So like, the story starts off right in like when something crazy's happened, and you're just like, what? Why did this thing? How did we get to this point?
Mm-hmm.
Record scratch. You may be wondering how I got here.
Right.
And then what the game does is it flashes back. Obviously, it's going to do that when such a turn of events is happening. But then what it does is it flashes back, and then like this cutscene's playing, and then in the middle of this flashback, it flashes back again, and you're just like
Double a flashback within a flashback.
Oh Christ! Now I'm keeping track of shit. And then when they flash back, but like they flash forward back to the second
layer
frame story. Yeah, the second Inception layer. And then, but like when they titled it, they didn't title it like back to the first flashback. They titled it like updated. Like the time had moved forward inside this Inception layer. So like So like when they flash forward, it didn't take too long for me to get the grips of what's happening. But at first I was just like, wait, what? When the fuck is this happening again? And then I put
confusing at all.
Yeah, it's like I talked, I think maybe on this show about the American Crime Story with the Andrew Cunanan and the Versace thing, and like I thought that was some really brilliant television. Really hard to watch shit sometimes because of all the boring stuff, but like good shit. But like that show's setup is basically jumping around time all the time, but like every episode's like format would at least be like, hey, here's this cold open where something crazy happens, obviously, you know, another end media res, and then we flash back to how this happened, but like that each episode is like flashing backwards in the timeline until you get to like a certain point where like they basically sort of insinuate what the mental breakdown in Andrew Cunanan was that made him become a serial killer. But holy shit, is it hard to keep track of as it's happening. And then they like flash forward to like just a generalized sequence of events. But like also this comic that I was working on for like God knows how long, like the original script was written sort of like Pulp Fiction, where every chapter was like happening out of place. And I told the guy, I was just like, this is fucking confusing and pointless. Like if you have no it's like that Bird Box movie. It's like if you have no reason to be telling me this story, like if you have no reason to be doing this story out of like chronological sequence, don't do it because you just end up ruining it.
Interesting. Do it if if it has a purpose.
Exactly, because like Bird Box is the worst example I've seen of it.
I haven't seen
that movie. Oh my god, can we talk about Bird Box?
Sure. I mean, I haven't watched it because of I've heard a lot of like after everybody got over like saying how much they loved it, I started to hear like the opposite.
Oh yeah, I hated that movie. It's a terrible movie. Do you want me to, like...
You can do it. Yeah, sure.
Okay, I was
want the spoiler alert for anybody who might be watching.
Spoiler alert, if anyone wants to watch a really shitty Netflix movie that has fucking Machine Gun Kelly in it. Alright, 3, 2, 1, we're spoiling. We're gonna spoil probably for like 10 minutes, I would say. Check back 10 minutes later. Anyways, so Bird Box, Sandra, it starts with Sandy Bullock giving a very serious speech to her children, to a couple of kids who you're gonna eventually find out their names, and that is legitimately, their names is legitimately the funniest aspect of the whole.
Boy and girl or something like that?
Yes, that is, oh my god. But like, you don't find...
get too attached.
You don't find this out until like, yeah, well that's exactly why she names them that, but like... Yeah, you clearly have, but like, oh my god, the scene where you...
That's about all I know, I think. Also, they keep themselves blindfolded. That's the other thing.
They're blindfolded because... so I'll just get
a quiet place, but they didn't do as good of a job.
Yeah, they made A Quiet Place. They were like, we need to make a movie like A Quiet Place, but we can't obviously make it sound. What should we do? And someone's like, well, what about smell? That's another sense. And they were like, no, it's kind of weird. A lot of people have anosmia. What?
It's a sensitive subject, please don't.
Yeah, my daughter has anosmia.
What if you can't see? Brilliant. Everyone can see, so that won't be offensive to anyone.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta make this. So it's called The Sight Place. You can't see things place. And someone's like, nah, we gotta give it some kind of artsy shit, dog, so people won't think it's a ripoff. Then they named it Bird Box. And I never actually figured out why it's called Bird Box, because I'll tell you what. Birds rarely come into importance in this movie. Like, there's an overarching, like, yes, birds are thematically, like... I'll just get into it. Anyways, Sandy Bullock giving these kids this speech, and then they get ready to go rafting down this river, and that's what they do, is they start going rafting down this river, and it's just Sandy Bullock and these two kids. No one else is in this boat. So then we cut to the day it all began. Sandy Bullock's with, I thought it was her, like, wife, but it turns out it's her sister. But she's, like, trying to get pregnant, which is why I thought it was her wife or something, but, like, something about, it's a fertility doctor of some kind, really. The doctor says some shit, and then they start leaving the hospital, but, like, people are, if you can imagine, doing some weirdness. And then as they're driving home, that's when, like, the shit hits the fan. People start killing themselves, etc., etc. It's supposed to be a very traumatic sequence. Those are always like even if you have a shitty movie, those are always the most interesting sequences. Is when they like do all the people like doing like even like the scenes in M. Night Shyamalan's what was it, The Happening?
I still haven't
like
seen that one either, just because
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't seen it either, but like the like commercials were always like showing the scenes with people killing themselves, but then they would cut it right off like where you'd see like all the gross stuff. But like those are eerie. Like it's it's like not hard to pull off making that shit look spooky. Like why can't you make a competent rest of your fucking movie? Anyways, so that's happening. That's the most interesting scene in the movie is when all this shit's going down. Like Sandy Bullock's sister kills herself. She like sees somebody. She's like, "Why is that woman crying?" And she walks off, and like she's immediately smashed by like a semi truck or some shit like that. This car is like totaled. Like their car gets totaled, and Sandy Bullock can't get out. Car's on fire. This lady comes out to help her, and then like the lady's like, "Keep your eyes down. Come with me. We're going to this house." And then this lady looks up, I guess. And then she just walks into a burning car and sits inside of it, I guess. But anyways, so then John Malkovich is there, and wouldn't you know it, that was his daughter who just sat in that burning car. Gosh. And he's real mad at Sandy Bullock because it's completely Sandy Bullock's fault that his daughter went out to help her. Anyways, so they're in this big house now, and like everyone's like they just keep adding more people to this house over time. And everyone's like, "Oh, this shit's crazy. We got to figure it out." So like John Malkovich knows right off the top, like right off the bat, that you can't look at it. He's a smart guy. He's got the windows all newspapered up. He knows like, hey, you're not supposed to look at.
Is he the crazy one, or do they like take what he says as like, oh, you know? He's the guy in the zombie movie who isn't making a bad point, but he's a dickhead who's saying like, we can't accept survivors. And then he just gets more and more militant about it as time goes on until there's eventually like a standoff about it, you know? Okay. That classic trope. Yeah. So John Malkovich does that. And then they have to tie John Malkovich up. And then I forget how John Malkovich dies, but spoiler alert, John Malkovich dies. Obviously he's gonna die. He has goner written on his face from the get-go. And then a whole bunch of people join their house. And so then like they're like trying out all, including Machine Gun Kelly, and they're trying out all this stuff. They're saying like, hey, we gotta like the one plan is they have a bunch of security cameras outside the house just from the house before it was occupied by them when John Malkovich just owned it. And they set up the security cameras and they tied the guy to the chair by his arms. That's it. They tie his arms to the chair. They don't even like tie his back or anything. He won't get out of
super stuck just because he's got his arms. And he's like, tie my arms to the chair. I'm pretty sure they just tie his arms. I could be wrong. They could be tying his whole body up. But spoiler alert, they do an inadequate job.
Like, in depth.
Yeah. It's just
Scene 8, shot 4. Then
script revision 5.
Okay.
So then, the guy they walk away, and then the guy ends up smashing his face into the desk until he bleeds out, obviously from the security camera footage. It's because he saw the thing, and even if you're looking at a digital image of it, it'll still make you go wacko.
You'll get to that.
Yeah, I'll get to it. Spoiler alert, it's like water. It's like a predator, but it's not. It's like water vapor in the air, or it's like the wind blowing leaves or something. You don't really ever see it, but
Is it sentient?
It makes the air wave around. I guess so, yeah.
An alien or something in there?
They kind of insinuate something stupid, but like I didn't give enough of a shit to like ever look back into it and be like, what the fuck did they like? I guess they like sort of implied something, and like I'm sure if I like didn't hate the movie more, I would like be like, oh wow, it's if you think about it, it's actually everyone's dreams going bad or some shit like that. But anyways, I hope I can really pull off this concept, because if it doesn't, this is just gonna be stupid. But anyways, said everyone ever.
Obviously, Dynamite
It is definitely a dynamite head. I'm trying to make the wicks all tied together into like a ponytail for him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks like that.
Okay, cool. I don't draw a lot of ponytails, so like.
You don't.
Anyways, so yeah, they do all the survival shit you always see in like horror movies. But the reason I brought up Bird Box in the first place was because, you know, the movie will occasionally cut to Sandy Bullock doing shit on this boat in this river, and then like things happening, like
right.
just to like kind of keep things fresh because everyone is doing like all the boring survival shit that like kills them off one by one.
And so it's just building to like how did she and these kids get here?
Yeah, but like what happens is in like the last third of the movie is eventually Sandy Bullock and like the remaining people, including this one guy who she's sleeping with, they all end up in this house that's like super secure, but like these raiders come, and like these raiders are like people apparently if you have a predisposition towards mental illness, you can see the things, and rather than killing yourself, you just become like I've seen the light, I tell you. But which is problematic, I would say. But anyways, so what happens is that when these people are all at this house, Sandy Bullock's sleeping with this dude, and like you've seen so much of the intro that you're just like, that dude dies. He's not on the boat. Like they try and set it up like it's gonna be a big plot twist. Like, oh, I just really hope Sandy Bullock and this dude just like really make it through this whole experience. But then like, yeah, the dude sacrifices himself so Sandy Bullock and the kids can go away on the boat to this place that's supposed to be like where the monster can't even exist or whatever, the super duper safe place. So, but yeah, so like, you know, this dude's gonna die because he's not on the boat. So like, not only was this whole in media res, like non-chronological order, like storytelling just pointless, but it actually effectively undercut like half of the story you were trying to tell. It's stupid.
Sounds good. I think I'm gonna go watch that.
You should. About an hour and 15 minutes in, I'm kidding. I don't know what. I don't know what happened.
Oh, did you finish it?
What was that?
Did you finish the movie?
Yeah, I did finish the movie. I watched
Super safe
movies.
place end up being super safe.
Oh, of course. And it was guess who was there in the super safe place?
John.
But the fertility doctor they went to in the beginning of the movie. She's there, and she's just like, oh hey, and she makes some reference to a conversation they had like 15 years ago in that hospital.
Wow.
And like they both just like understand, and I don't know.
They laugh and laugh.
Yeah, and then like a bird flies, and then like you
Why is
realize
the
like,
safe place safe?
oh, I think because the sun, because like the sun pours in through a sky window, a skylight, but like there's no windows around the walls, so I guess this monster can't climb or whatever.
Okay. Sure, I'll accept that. It seems like a really complicated explanation for why it's safe, and I don't know how they would do that in
I don't know why it's safe.
organic way of the movie.
Yeah, and it's called the Bird Box because the house has like a shit ton of like birds in it.
Oh.
I guess it was like a bird greenhouse sort of thing like we went to in Michigan before it became what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways.
We went to Meyer Gardens. Welcome back.
Yeah, dude. Right before we saw Parasite.
So, what was my other question? So this movie, though, was pretty popular when it came out.
It was.
Does this add to the fact that you hate it more because everybody likes it?
No, I a long time ago decided to make a conscious choice to never let the mass opinion of something like decide whether or not I like something or not, because I was just letting it ruin too many things for me.
I admire that. I also still struggle with it though occasionally. Not that I get mad when people don't like what I like, but if I organically on my own don't like something and then I have to keep hearing people talk about how great it was, then I'm like, what?
Right?
But
Yeah,
why?
like what? That was my experience with Thor Ragnarok. In a controversial opinion, I did not enjoy it.
I like.
But so go ahead.
A lot of parts of it.
I liked the Rock Monster, and I liked Jeff Goldblum, and that was the only 2 parts I liked. I didn't give a shit about the rest.
I liked all the Planet Hulk stuff. I didn't give a shit about the plot about Thor's sister.
Yeah, me neither.
I couldn't care less. It's just like
I don't give a
such bland Marvel, like,
yeah.
Random villain shows up who you've never heard of.
Yeah, Mac Guffin shit.
They threaten the world, whatever world this particular movie has. They take a glowy rock to get that done.
Yep.
And then the team who would take her down they need to learn teamwork first, because right now they're all trying to do their own thing, they don't get along, and they're just all getting their asses beat individually. They need to learn to work together. They need to learn they need each other. They need
to play some Overcooked. They need to do some teamwork building games.
Yeah, basically that could be
do an escape room together.
Exactly. They're doing
oh my god. Wait. Seriously, like, can we do our next, like, once we're done with all this shit, can we do, like, all the Marvel, like, Avengers dudes in an escape room? Like, as
all of them? You mean, like, all 300?
No, like, the main Avengers, maybe, or, like, the ones that we give a shit about, like, the ones who we can think of doing a bit in an escape room.
I can do that.
Alright. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I cut you off to do my stupid...
No, and then, they beat them and everyone's fine. And they even try to, they know, people who are paid millions of dollars to make these movies, they know how to write. I'm not being some cocky asshole who thinks I know better than them. They know what they're doing. The thing is, they always try to do this thing where they're trying to subvert those expectations, because they know they're making these movies that are
schlock.
Marvel movies are fun, but they're predictable and they're the same every time and whatever. But
yeah, they're schlock.
Yeah, fair enough. So I feel like a lot of times they try to subvert those expectations, and they're like there's a scene in Thor or Ragnarok where he loses his eye. That should be a big deal, and then like in what spoiler alert still in the Avengers, whatever the second to last one,
he gets his eye back.
As most people all know, this is a spoiler, but like half the characters die. But the thing is, with Thor losing his eye and half the characters dying and all that stuff, and anytime they try to do something that's supposed to make you go, oh.
Yeah.
What? Oh no! Is this the end for our that? Nobody ever feels that way, because Disney loves to put out these like roadmaps of their movies that show 6 Thor movies are coming in the next 4 years.
Right. Exactly.
So how am I supposed to ever feel any kind of how am I supposed to ever be on edge when they want me to be?
I will say though, despite knowing that they would undo all the events of Infinity War, I believe, in Endgame, I do really appreciate the audacity of them ending Infinity War the way they did.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because,
I'm not trying to say I hate that. It's this problem where they're trying to do something that touches you off guard, but at the same time,
I think in a sense though, I think that actually kind of I think now that they're done with the first stage where they did the big mashup
thing they've been building towards for
a decade. The thing that they've been building towards, now that they finally have completed it, but they have this setup, they have these premises that are completely outlandish, but the entire public consciousness is aware of how these things work now.
Yeah.
So now they can just take these weird concepts and fuck with them. And I think they were planning on doing a horror movie for that new Doctor Strange, which I'm not sure if they're continuing. I think I read somewhere that they're dropping that aspect or something like that. But imagine if they did a cosmic horror fighting a Cthulhu Eldritch being.
I 100% agree, and I think we're looking at that it's going to happen because
that's phase 2. Phase 2 is season 2 of Community all over again.
The directors are starting to do the weird shit. Even though Thor Ragnarok, you didn't like that was one that was a little bit weirder than the normal thing.
Yeah.
At least a lot of it, not all of it. Still had all the basic segment
elements,
in it, but there was half the movie where they got away from that, and I was happy with that. And they are starting to work on some weird things. I know. I think they're doing some Disney Plus exclusives, and one of those is I'm sure it won't be this way the whole way, but there's this one where the preview showed Scarlet Witch and what's the robot dude that she's with?
Vision.
Vision.
I say that having never watched in Civil War.
Oh, yeah, right. He's in like a few of the movies.
He's in an Endgame, and that's all I know. Or he's in an Infinity War and Endgame. That's all I know him from.
But it's like a sitcom looking thing with those two.
Interesting. That's
so,
kind of
it's weird, and that's cool.
Yeah.
I want weird shit.
I like that. Yeah, that's like the stuff
on.
on.
What's fun is that they have these characters that everybody knows, and then hundreds of different writers write weird outlandish stories.
It's like when it's like when that person did that Spider-Man comic, Hannah Blumenthal, I think, where she did that Spider-Man comic where he just like gets really excited about Cowboy Bebop and talks to some girl as he walks her home about it. And like, you know, people really liked it because it was kind of like, oh, we all know Spider-Man, but here's Spider-Man being just like a goof and like in Cowboy Bebop, and it was kind of like there was a charming aspect to it, and you know, like there's some like. Yeah, there's like a framework that they could definitely utilize to explore some really really just shake up a lot of paradigms, I think, of tropes in movies and things, and like really call out a lot of conventions that we use. But
they've been starting to do it. I mean, you look at some of these weird ones, like I know some of these aren't straight up like they don't show up at all the Avengers meetups, but like Logan was pretty cool. That was unique.
I do want to see Logan. That one was
cool.
Really up my alley.
Deadpool's unique.
I like Deadpool. I like aspects of the Deadpool movies.
This isn't really once again, it's something different, but like, Enter the Spider-Verse was awesome.
I still need to see that.
You should definitely watch it. I love it.
I should. People keep saying that, and I keep saying, I agree. And I just like, I feel like I need to be in the mood to watch it. But there's always like a thing where it's just like, I need to be in the mood, and then someone's just like, sit down, watch it right now, and like 5 minutes into it, oh, look at that, I'm in the mood to watch the thing all of a sudden. I just need to like actually sit down and like
it's great.
watch.
So I don't know. They're starting to do some weird, unique stuff, and that's what they need.
They need to keep going down that path, and I think there could be some really exciting things afoot if they do so.
And Disney owns them. I mean, they did The Mandalorian, which is getting really good reviews, and that's basically like a Western. Star Wars
That's
Western.
true.
So
I'm not sure. I used to think be hype about Disney owning Marvel. I used to be like,
I don't know if I'm excited about that. It gets weird when a giant corporation oversees everything. There's too much riding on it and everything. Especially big name. I mean, I guess Marvel already was that way, but.
Well, I mean, before Marvel got bought by Disney, I mean, like what? Like they weren't even doing the cinematic universe. Like they made.
Right. Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier, I think, but like when they made Iron Man 1, they weren't like, we're gonna like mash all these characters up. Marvel just happened to make an Iron Man movie that was successful, and then they were like, well, let's do a Thor movie, and then I guess they got the budget to do a Captain America movie around the same time, and then that's when the wheels.
They had some intention because at the end, after the credits, what was it? Samuel Jackson rolls up and he's like, "Yo, I want you to join the Avengers."
Well, yeah, they were always like setting up but in the first Iron Man movie, it was like Agent Coulson shows up and he's just like, "I'm with Shield," and you're just kind of like, "Oh, Shield is like a Marvel thing," but like. I feel like at that point they didn't expect Iron Man to be successful as it was, so like that at that point that was still earlier than them planning to do like the whole cinematic universe, but
potentially, I don't know. Maybe
just for Iron Man.
I just feel like they have at least an idea in mind, or it would work or not. I mean, you could always spin out early on.
Yeah, but well, that's the thing is like Iron Man 1, they were not planning a cinematic universe. By Iron Man 2. Yeah, I can believe that. But Iron Man 1, I think they were just
on the other hand, unless you read that somewhere, I disagree. I think they were. But
I have no proof to back my claims.
I think they were planning it then, but I don't know. I don't know which one this is right. Me.
You're right.
I don't know. But
Fight.
So I don't know. They're starting to do weird stuff, and that's what they need to do because the cinematic universe stuff is boring. I mean, for me, I mean, it's not for everybody. I mean, honestly,
it was
who
interesting.
am I? Like those movies sell so well. I don't know why it matters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still just go by what I said when I finished watching Endgame, which was, all right, you did the thing. You don't gotta do it ever again. You did it. Good job. Now you can sit down.
Yeah. Take a breather.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
You're
Sure
exhausted.
you are. Yeah.
Let's all agree this was fun, but let's never do it again.
They're totally going to.
Oh, 100%. But I mean, I feel like now that they had the big bash up, whereas everybody, maybe the pressure's not on so much to like include everybody every time around.
Right. It might be a while, but you know, there's gonna be a period when they're like kind of riding the down turn from all that, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, remember that thing we did 15 years ago? Wasn't that awesome? Let's do it."
Well,
Let's go.
now that we have all CG actors, we're just gonna keep on pumping out everyone in the movie all at once because we digitally animated everybody in.
Yeah.
Grandma Parkin, motherfucker.
Technology is amazing. I'm so glad they were able to do that.
Woo! Now you don't even have to watch humans be human.
Boy, we got lots of opinions here.
I sure do. Welcome to DrawBomb, where we don't like anything fun, apparently.
Yeah, and if you like it,
we're gonna shit all over it. Yeah, fuck you for liking Bird Box, Marvel movies, and what was the third thing?
Life.
Yeah, life. Ha. Shame on you.
Don't you ever feel joy again? If you feel joy and I hear about it, oof.
How dare you? God, I shouldn't have gone for the Mike Magnolia coloring on this one.
Say, you're still on the head.
The body actually is going to go quicker because it's not like a complex series of shapes that need to be similar.
Right, human bodies are simple.
Yeah. I have an easier time drawing. I just have an easier time drawing a human body and head and face than I do drawing a stick of dynamite tied together like this.
That's fair. And what a beautiful stick of dynamite it is.
Thank you. You like his little toothpick I gave him?
I do. I do like it.
I like your guy a lot.
Thanks.
I like the coloring on it too.
Yeah, you normally don't spend this much time on drawing, so I've just been fleshing.
Well, yeah, you got the time right now.
Yeah.
Watch any movies?
Watched. Let's see. What did I watch? Watched Moana, which I've seen before.
Right.
That was
We talked about this briefly.
I was in the mood, and we watched.
What's your how do you think it ranks up to the other Disney movies?
Oh boy, that's hard because once again, there's like 1,000 of them. I think it's.
If you want, you can separate it by 2D and 3D.
Okay, as far as 3D goes, I'd say it's one of the better ones. For like the classic, you know, princess story style movie, because I feel like Disney has two different categories. They like to make their like princess
Sing-alongs. Yeah.
movie sing-along that like follows a kind of trajectory and style.
Yeah.
And they have like their other more unique.
Their Emperor's New Grooves,
Yeah, just like unique stories.
which is my favorite Disney movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a great one.
It's the best one, in my humble opinion. But I will say, I think Moana is second favorite Disney movie. I mean, I told you this. Yeah. I mean, I'm not like a fan of the Disney style, to be honest. Like the fairy tale, the princesses,
I'm not
like
obsessed with it, but I think I think they're quality.
I think they have. I mean, yeah. I mean, like Lion King's. Like Lion.
Film, you know, but
Yeah. Like Lion King's a banger, obviously.
Lion King's good.
Aladdin's good.
Yep.
What else? Lady and the Tramp's good stuff. I mean, like I could list a whole bunch of great Disney movies, and like that's fine. But it's just like still like a lot of times like there's only like one or two songs in the soundtrack that actually like I enjoy listening to.
Okay.
Like Mulan, like I'll Make a Man Out of You. Like I'll croon that every day of the week if you ask me to. But like it's. A lot of the other songs on that soundtrack aren't my favorite, and also Eddie Murphy, or not Eddie Murphy. Who was it? Who played Mushu? Was it Eddie Murphy?
I believe so.
Oh god, I hope I'm not mixing up
I'm pretty sure.
black guy right now.
I'm certain.
Okay, I'm gonna go with it because he does say "you the man, a woman," and that's kind of a very Eddie Murphy thing to say.
It wasn't Eddie Murphy thing to say because it was Eddie Murphy who said it.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
Okay.
I don't believe you, but I'm gonna take your word for it. Okay. But like a lot of the music, is just not up my alley.
Okay. Yeah, you don't
it's
like,
a little
kind of like musical
show tuney
stuff.
Yeah,
I like show tunes if I'm in the right headspace for them. If I know what I'm about to watch a musical, or
well,
it's I'm about to, I can get in the mood, but it's not like the type of music I reach for to listen to while driving somewhere, or I'm while working. It's not like something I listen to at home, but I can get into it in the sense of the story.
I mean, I definitely can get into it in the sense of this. I mean, pretty much what you said, actually. Like, I won't go driving down the street. I won't be going oh man, I could listen to right now is. I mean, I will say I could really listen to "I Just Want to Be King" right now.
There's a few Disney songs that I will listen to.
That's the one though. Like those few, like that one and a couple others.
Has some bangers.
I mean, I will always just sing the entirety of Bare Necessities.
But yeah, so there's a few, but overall, yeah, they're not something I'm gonna pop my earbuds in and listen to. But in the movie, I like them, and I think Moana had a lot of good songs. Yeah, well, that's the thing is, the thing I like about Moana isn't even that it had a lot of good songs, is that it had good songs, and there weren't a lot. That's the thing. All the songs were good, so I wouldn't have minded more music, but the part that always I also never really enjoy about Disney movies is the musical aspect of it. Okay.
Because
I like musicals, so.
Oh, I mean, I like musicals too, but the music isn't doing it for me. If it's a cool song and dance number, fine. It's fun to watch the first time through, but I mean, obviously a movie isn't necessarily you have to do a repeat viewing, but a lot of times the song and the dance number is because they didn't write enough script to carry a whole movie through, so they just have to phone it in with a musical sequence.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I
think they feel like when they make that type of movie that. Oh, you're not saying all of them either, right? I don't know. But
I'm not saying all of the movies. I'm not saying necessarily every musical number. There's just some musical numbers where you're just this is a pointless fucking musical number. I would much rather be watching these characters discussing their motivations or something like that. I'd rather be getting more out of these characters than a song that's something or other. Sure, a lot of them are also very fun excuses to do an interesting visual sequence, but
I think they look at the musical numbers like just as much of a part of the movie as the script. It's because it's a musical, it's kind of like a modern day version of some stage show, some Rodgers and Hammer scene, something just a weird they break into a cheesy song in the middle of the show and then it goes back to the show and it's just part of it.
Yeah. And just to give you an example.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, you go. Okay. But for instance, a movie where I enjoy none of the musical sequences except for the very climactic one is a Goofy movie. I don't like any of the fucking songs in that movie.
I don't remember the music from that movie.
Very last one. That's the thing.
One song from that movie.
There was one song.
It was a musical.
It turns out it is. I remember watching that movie 8 times a day as a child, and then I watched it on demand 5 years ago or 4 years back when Vine was still alive. I was watching it on demand, and they would break into song, and I'd be like, oh, fuck, I keep forgetting this was a musical apparently.
Well, maybe this is the point you were trying to make, or at least an agreement we can make, is that not every movie has to be a musical.
I agree.
And so some probably do feel forced, but if they go in with the intention of we're trying to make this style of film, and a lot of the princess movies are that style of film.
Yes.
Then I feel the music is as important as the script, but not in Goofy movie. In fact, like I said, my brain erased the fact that it was even a musical.
Yeah. Or how about Star Wars Episode 3 or Star Wars Episode? Well, originally it was Episode 3. Now it's Episode 6. Ever since they remade it,
did not need to be a musical. I agree. I don't know why they did that.
I don't know why they added that. Have you? Oh God.
Oh, wait, what are you saying? I was good at that.
We should just really make a commemoration to the Alien musical sequence that they added to Star Wars Episode 6/3.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
Oh, dude. Let me just tell you. First of all, I grew up.
My brain erasing, editing out all these things. I guess it's good that it is.
Well, it was digital. So it's in. Do you remember back in the year 2000 when they came out with this Star Wars VHS box set in the shape of Darth Vader's helmet, and box? Yeah, they remastered it.
A bunch of shitty animation. That is the only way you can watch it now.
The worst thing of it all was that in front of Star Wars Episode 1 on a VHS, mind you. on the front of the Star Wars Episode 1/Episode 3 or 4 VHS is an hour-and-a-half long documentary where Industrial Light and Magic tells you how they did all the special effects that fucked up that movie. Like all the shit you didn't want them to add. They're like, here's how we did it. But it's an hour and a half, and it's in front of Star Wars Episode 4, so it's on a VHS. You have to rewind, and then like if you're rewinding the movie, you can't just leave it you can't just like put it in this machine and then hit rewind and be like, I guess I'm gonna make a sandwich. No, you gotta keep an eye on it because you want to make sure you stop right before this fucking pointless.
Why did they put it in the beginning?
I don't know. Why would they? Why would they do any of the thing they did? I'm so mad at the whole VHS. Yeah, it's 100% money.
Well, it's partially money and part hubris because George Lucas was like, I can do it better when no one asked him to.
No one wanted him to.
So much so that now you can't even hardly find the originals. And it's
like, it's really hard.
Do?
I did manage to have some friends find a Laserdisc original like video file somewhere of Star Wars Episode 4, so I have seen it recently unedited, and it's still a lot of fun.
That's a cocky move to not only remake a movie that has already been regarded as like well loved and part of culture, not only to remake it, but then to try to like wipe out any source of the original.
Yeah,
like,
I am going.
It's evil.
It's fucking evil, and I think I found the musical sequence. Yep. Okay. Okay, so imagine you're watching Star Wars Episode 6.
I try not to imagine that, but I will just for this situation.
It's the scene.
I've gone through lots of therapy to help me not imagine watching it.
Yeah, Jabba the Hutt, I believe, dies. Yeah, this is right after. So this is like right before Luke Skywalker, I believe, comes in and fights the.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I
got mixed up. I was thinking you were talking about the prequels.
No, God.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it's in Jabba's palace.
Yeah, yep. That is the one. I've linked to it in the incorrectly right now. Now that's the correct link. It's in the DrawBomb links channel. But if you want to see,
like a blue lady.
There's a blue lady in there, but a green lady I believe gets thrown into the I forget the name of the thing. There's a giant pair of lips on a circular body singing.
Great. Those just.
Ugh. I'm watching it right now. I shouldn't because it's gonna melt my brain, and I need to finish this drawing of a dynamite man using dynamite nunchucks.
Episode might be a one drawing episode.
It might end up being just because we spent so much time on this.
Well, it's okay. It could also be a rock, paper, pencil.
That's true. It's everything all rolled up into one.
Yeah. It's okay. It's fun. I mean, I like that when you do try some different stuff and like really putting a lot of work into one drawing is cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the reason I started talking about Phoenix Wright a long time ago, so they have a character. Her name's something. Her name is. And how would you read that?
Pseudonym?
Close.
Pseudonym.
So that's her name in Phoenix Wright. And if you can imagine, that name is not correct. That is not her real name.
Oh.
So
I don't know how the world of Phoenix Wright works, like names.
Well,
if it was James Bond, that could definitely be something. Oh, I see. That makes sense.
So Phoenix Wright characters all have very punny names like that, and I forget what I was referring to in regards to punny names, but I just wanted to get that. Oh no, yeah, okay. I thought of a stupid punny name like that earlier today. Let me just let me just make sure I'm not spelling out something horrifying. I am spelling out something horrifying. Okay, well, let's do it anyways. He prefers to go by Dimitri. Endometriosis. Which is a horrifying disease
right.
in your
Why
uterus.
Neil then?
Because that's the N.
I get it. I'll work that.
It's like how an Alan Awake. Wait, hold on.
Awake.
Yeah, Awake, which is just. God, the writing in that game is fucking terrible.
It was a good game. That was. I
It's
think I started it and turned it off.
You made a good choice. I've had some people to say like, "Oh, it's like one of my favorite games." I'm just like, "You're fucking dumb."
Nostalgia does strange things to the mind.
I mean, it was probably a mind-blowing game when it first came out. I'm sure there's like these long segments where you're walking in the woods to a destination and you can see it like off in the distance. And I'm sure like when the Xbox 360 first dropped, that was probably something interesting because I remember ranting and raving about seeing a thing you were gonna like eventually walk inside of in Dark Souls from like very far away for like years and years. But yeah.
That's fair. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, nostalgia, and also sometimes it depends on the time it came out. You know, you look at a lot of PlayStation 1 games that, because 3D is still being figured out, are almost unplayable now. But at the time, they were my favorites.
I mean, I can't believe that Devil May Cry 1 doesn't have a block function. That's insane.
I'm not sure I could go and play like Jet Motor without killing myself now, but at the time,
Right.
it's great.
Yeah, at the time it made sense. It's like how we were playing Silent Hill 2, and I'm just like, oh, this shit rocks, and you're just like, I am so confused because this game does not do an adequate job of explaining where to go. And I'm like, that's the spooky part, is you have to walk around the town.
Yeah, no,
And
I actually liked what I played.
I'm not saying you were like shitting on the game or anything like that, but it was apparent.
The fans out.
Yeah, it was apparent when we were playing that. I was just like, all right, a lot of this game is very like dated. That's why like video games are like the one media where it's actually like, aside from like paintings and video games, paintings are like the only two forms of media. I guess movies, but like where a remaster is, I guess you can remaster anything, but instead of remaking a movie, you can always like remaster if it's film, I guess. But sometimes they do remasters that look like shite.
What was the point you were making though? You were saying.
Oh, video games you can remaster. Like there's actually like a benefit to remaking.
Right.
Video games.
Because a lot of them are story driven, but the mechanics or the technological level has made it difficult to achieve maybe what the vision was originally.
Exactly. Yeah.
But then, they tried that with Star Wars, and it sucked.
Yeah.
I think film's different because...
Well, there's like, you can like upscale like a film. Like they recently did like a remaster of The Wizard of Oz in 4K. And since it was already shot in film, like they were just able to rescan it or whatever and like bring it to 4K resolution. It looks very crisp. But
there's something about the craftsmanship of a film that it doesn't need to be remade, and it's almost insulting to people that put the work into it originally. And I'm not talking about a reboot, but just like to like swap it, like change the product after it's already been out and people have already shown that they like it.
Like Spike Lee's Old Boy.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen it myself personally, but I did watch a very in-depth review. But like, why would you do that? Why would you remake an already perfectly fine movie that like a lot of people in this country already like in its original form?
I guess Star Wars is mainly what I'm talking about. And it's just like, I mean, other films have done it, but it just seems unnecessary, obviously. And
yeah,
I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
I think it's like, it'd be the same as if like, now they're like, well, we came out with a new paint that's more vivid and, blah, blah, blah. The colors are way brighter, so we're going to remake all these famous paintings. And people are like, what? No, we like those. The way we like them because of the way they are. Even if something's old or outdated, it's charming because of that, or it's just part of it.
I mean, to be fair, painting restoration is a thing, but this is like a different scenario that we're...
Right,
I'm different hypothetical scenario.
Yeah, I was just trying to come up with a metaphor. Maybe not the best.
Yeah. But, yeah, like, it's like, you remember, so like, you remember when they remade Psycho, but with Vince Vaughn as, the main guy.
Man, my brain does a good job of erasing
forgetting
shit
things
I
about.
don't care about at all.
Do more acid, bro. You can definitely make those abstract connections in your brain,
I
bro.
don't think I want that stuff back. Everything
You
that
don't,
I said,
because I'm thinking about
trash.
I'm thinking about Psycho with Vince Vaughn right now, running as far away from it as you can. But so they did a remake of Psycho with Vince Vaughn as the lead, and it was a shot-for-shot remake of Psycho. Why would you do that? What's the point? Just watch Psycho.
Right.
Like you can, like I watched Twilight Zone on Netflix not even recently, it was a while ago, but like because it was shot on actual film, like it was shot on actual film. So like actual film back in the day was quality shite, and like basically like it like the film is like infinitely scalable or whatever, because it just captures like actual data, hard data on like its negative or whatever it is. So like when they were like showing, like when I was watching Twilight Zone on Netflix on like my friend's 4K TV, like it was crisp, it looked so good, and I was just like, what the fuck, like why is this look so much better than like a lot of like modern day movies? And my friend said it's because it was shot in like actual film, and like there's like something to like there's like a quality to that where you can like rescan the film at like a higher resolution, and like you don't lose any details or you don't like pixelize anything because of the way the film, you know, is recorded. Okay. So like digital is like finally catching up to like the clarity of like something that we've had since the Twilight Zone. It's just interesting.
Yeah, that was awesome. What we're saying is, remake more stuff, you know? It's a good way to make money. People will put butts in seats. They'll get that.
Butts in seats.
You know, the investors will be happy. The studio will make some money. And that's what it's all about. I mean, I guess that's partially what it's about. It's not fair to be like, I'm the consumer, and the art should be the most important part. Like, to me that is, but I'm also not making any money off of it myself.
Yeah, I'm not making money off of art.
If it was my investment, maybe I would be more prone to be like, just make remake RoboCop again. I don't know.
Right. For like when it comes to me, like me giving my opinion on art is the same as me giving my opinion on horse races. Like I'm not currently in that career, so like
I feel like we're allowed to have opinions like on like the integrity of the thing, but that doesn't mean that like that if a movie exec is listening to this, they should take our advice.
Right.
Because who are we? We're nobody.
So hey, Greg Weinstein, if you're listening, first of all, who's Greg Weinstein? He took over after Harvey. Yeah, I know Harvey Weinstein already had a brother, but I don't know his name, and I hear he's also not like I'm not sure he's involved in that business. I don't know. I think it's all Hawaii. What's your guy's name?
I don't know. I'll have to think of that. Do you know your guy's name?
I'm thinking something along the lines of Mighty Man.
Okay.
Like Dynamite.
I see. I thought it was gonna be like Timothy MT.
That'd be pretty solid too. Hold on, let me think of one. I got nothing. Okay, I got one.
Okay.
It's okay. I would have to start everything all over, so I'm not gonna.
Nope.
It would be like it's he's like an emperor in ancient Edo period Japan, but he's made of TNT, and he's the Shogun powder. Or no, you know what? I think I got it. His name is.
You got me on the edge of my seat.
I wrote it.
Oh, sulfur. That's good.
But that's not his name. I'm gonna go with Mighty Man.
I'll think of mine.
Actually, Sulfur might actually be the way to go, because like a lot of the characters in Street Fighter are named like Roy.
It's true.
Dan.
So you could be Saul.
Sulfur.
And I will be a great name that I just came up with, Mighty Man. No, I'm just kidding. Son of a bitch.
How dare you! So, I gotta ask,
Alright.
who were your regular characters in the following games? We're just gonna do like not necessarily a rapid fire, but I'm just gonna ask you a bunch of games, and you just tell me who your main was, and I'm gonna try and like
I'll be
figure
honest,
out.
I didn't play much of them.
All right, let me just name
I'll be
the.
honest if the games you name are ones that I didn't play.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought you said I'll be honest. I haven't.
Oh, no.
I understand now.
Okay. I don't like video games.
No, you don't like them at all. I'm not like fighting games are alright, but like fighting games aren't necessarily like the itch I'm trying to scratch
Okay, go ahead.
frequently. Like Austin gets really into fighting games.
Yeah, no, I don't play many. I mean, the ones that I do is just like a little thing, but I don't get into them because I'm no good.
Yeah. Like the game that's the closest to what I would call a fighting game that I've gotten into. Like I bought Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but I didn't play too much of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean God Hand is a game that but it's not like a classic fighting game. It's more of a beat 'em up. But anyways, so so Street Fighter.
I was a kid when I played, so I tend to go for Blanca just because he was weird.
Nice, good choice.
I also liked it's between him and the
Zangief.
No, the guy who could stretch really far.
Oh, Dawson.
Yeah.
I believe you actually told me about Dawson, like you playing as Dawson frequently before.
Yeah. I went for the characters that I just like their designs interested me the most as a child.
Yeah. My brother and I tended to pick the same character because we both had very similar tastes, so he would always get first pick, and then I would have to pick like
I didn't play much
secondary.
Street Fighter, honestly.
So for Street Fighter, my brother would want to be Ryu, so I'd be Ken. Sometimes I'd be Vega. Sometimes I'd be Dawson.
Vega, is he the one with the mask?
He's the mask and the Wolverine blade. Yeah.
I recall.
Let me think. Mortal Kombat.
Let me think for a second. Because I definitely played more Mortal Kombat than Street Fighter, but I'm trying to think. There's so many characters. I think I mixed it up a lot, but
Yeah.
I liked. What did I play as? I played as a lot, like I liked Scorpion. I liked
Scorpion. Yeah.
played as Raiden.
Raiden's cool.
But I don't really remember specifically sticking to anybody that I can think of right now.
I would, we'd both want to be Scorpion, so we'd often fight over who could be Scorpion by who would be. We'd have to do like a versus mode of Scorpion versus Scorpion to decide who could be Scorpion, and then we would do a round of and then we do a round of like, okay, whoever's not Scorpion has to do their other main. So like if I didn't get Scorpion, I would get Sub-Zero, or sometimes I would do Kenshi. And then later on I just, started, eventually we became independent of our fighter game choices.
Fair enough.
So Street Fighter, I started doing Cody and Abel more, because they're kind of cool characters, I like their fighting styles. What's the one? SNK, what's the name of this fucking thing? Shit. Hold on 1 sec. You might not have even played this one. This one is... SNK. It's got like Terry Bogard in it. I'm pulling up the list of characters from SNK. My brother and I used to play this on Sega, and but like we played the one game and then like we never saw it again. We were just like, oh, I guess this must not have been popular. But there's like 80 of these games. So I'm finding what the other characters are in it.
I'll have to look that up to see if I even know what it is.
I guess it's normally called King of Fighters.
Oh, no, I never played that.
Okay, well, so it's not even gonna be. Terry Bogard's cool though. He's just like a dude in a red jacket wearing. I'll just show you a picture of him. He wear hat.
Ooh, I like hat.
This is the guy. He's a little squashed picture, but that's Terry Bogard.
Okay, I recognize him. I think because he's in Smash now.
He is in Smash now. Yeah, I believe so.
So that's why I recognize him. But I never played that.
I always played as this dude. Like Zach would play as Terry, and I was like, whatever, fine. I would always play as like this like kind of kung fu fighter guy. I'd have to find the exact one we played, otherwise I wouldn't be able to tell you like shit about it. All right, so Super Smash Brothers.
Samus usually.
Gotcha.
The one I played the most was the original, so it doesn't have as many characters.
I'm a Kirby guy myself.
Yeah, my brother played as Kirby a lot.
My brother is a mean Luigi. Do not let him catch you near an edge. Or don't let him catch you hanging onto a ledge, because he will use his down taunt to smash you into the ground.
You were telling me about that when we
Yeah.
were here playing.
It's got like this spike. It makes that like high pitched like noise.
I was never able to. I just don't really know his moves, but I was never really able to play Luigi.
Yeah, he's a hard dude to get the hang of, but he's one of those characters where if you get the hang of him, you can wreck with him. Same with Mr. Game & Watch. I have a buddy who would frequently wreck our shit with Mr. Game & Watch.
I see. Yeah, no, I never
Super
got good with those. I like Super Smash, but I'm not good at it.
I like Super Smash. It's again like since I'm not like a big fan of fighting games, it's solid and I've had a lot of fun with it. But if you like want me to sit down and play it for like 3 hours, I'm probably gonna get like a little tired an hour and a half in.
Yeah.
But what was I about to say about Super Smash Brothers? Oh, I guess it's not important. I'm trying to think of other fighting games. Clay Fighter.
I never played that too much, enough to know any characters from memory.
What else? Have you ever played Soul Calibur?
No.
Interesting. I played as Link in the GameCube version.
Oh, was he in Soul Calibur?
They have like every Soul Calibur, from my experience, has like, oh, this like if you're on a PlayStation, you get Darth Vader. If you're on Xbox, you get Yoda. If you're on PlayStation, you get the dude from Tekken. If you're on Xbox, you get Spawn. That sort of shit.
That's kind of a cool way to do it.
Yeah. Although I hear Yoda was a little bitch because he was hard as hell to hit because he was so small.
Oh, we had like an odd jobs thing going on.
Yeah, exactly. Nice pull. Were you Odd Job in GoldenEye?
No, we outlawed him.
Yeah, my neighbor did the same thing after I found out his trick. I was the one who ruined it for everybody. They're like, how are you winning for once? And I'm just like, I got a secret plan.
I'm short.
I'm a short guy. My job is odd.
Random task.
Right?
We watched Austin Powers recently, and that's the Odd Jobs knockoff. Is what his name is.
Oh, really? That's random time. That's what. The thing is, the first Austin Power movie still holds up.
Yeah.
Still good. The other ones, I remember Austin Powers 2 feeling like a shell of Austin Powers 1 and Austin Powers 2.
They just do the same jokes over and over, which sometimes can be funny, but also it's not a reason to make another movie. As far as I'm concerned.
The third movie is a whole different beast altogether, although it's the one I've seen the most.
I've seen, I think, the first one the most, but
good choice.
I watched 3 a lot. Like, I remember getting it for like Christmas and just like watching it, like, you know, when you're a kid and just like
watch it.
Movie like twice a day.
Yeah.
I did at least. I don't know if that's.
Oh, I 100% did. Yeah, I'd listen to the movie twice a day. I'd listen to a song like 50 times a day and like sing it loudly from my room. My parents would be like, "Ian, shut the fuck up, Ian."
The ground.
I don't care how much you like Linkin Park. Go the fuck to sleep.
They just didn't
Tekken. They didn't understand the way I feel.
I really didn't play many fighting games. I played a little Tekken, but not much.
Yeah, I didn't play too much.
It's a weird robot guy that I played a lot of. It doesn't narrow it down because all the characters are fucking weird in Tekken, but it's like a big robot guy. His like eyes would glow red.
War of the Monsters.
Ooh. I played so much of that, but I'm trying to think of who I played as.
Didn't think I'd pull that one, did you?
I certainly didn't. Hold on, I'm still on the Tekken thing.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think what is this robot's name in Tekken?
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. That robot was dope as fuck.
It's weird.
I would do the panda
Jack,
a lot.
I think is his name.
I think I did the panda a lot, or the tiger guy.
Yeah, I think the Tekken I played was like PlayStation 1, so I don't think they ended the Bears yet.
Primal Rage.
Oh, I played a lot of Primal Rage. I played as the Raptor, I believe.
Nice, good choice. I played as the lion, because lions, or panther, whoever the dude had like the lion ass head.
Or the
like
monsters, I played as the mantis.
Nice. Is it a giant praying mantis?
Yeah.
Nice. I think I did the eyeball, but I did not play that game a whole lot.
I didn't play it right. We just enjoyed like the
smashing.
Like it kind of like scratched the itch that was Rampage.
Yeah.
But it was like 3D.
Rampage.
We would fight over. Well, we played the Nintendo one, so you could only be the ape or the lizard. We'd fight over the lizard. Me and my brother.
Fair. Did you guys eventually stop fighting over when you found out she was a girl?
No.
Okay. Good. How very very comfortable in your masculinity of you.
That's right.
I also played as a
gorilla,
lizard.
but then we found out it was a guy, and we didn't want to play as him
anymore. We stopped. We were like, gross. No, I used to play as the lizard too. I found out she was a girl. My brother made fun of me, and I was like, I don't give a fuck, dude. You make me play as the girl in Contra, so I don't give a shit.
Like, I'm used to this.
Yeah, this is my life. I was born in these shadows. Let me think, yeah. You know, it really would help if I had reference of what a torso looked like before I tried this heavy shading.
I think you're doing a good job. I like it.
Thank you. I've been practicing this sort of thing lately in like some little doodles here and there. I think it's not even like because it's a style I'm necessarily intending to adopt, although one of my art school teachers really was like vibing on the idea of me doing this with like microns or something like that. Which I mean, I don't blame him. It was those drawings did turn out very nicely, but it's just not my preferred.
Right.
It's too messy for me. Anyways, not that this isn't messy, but I think like learning how to do this sort of thing is a good way of visualizing shapes differently. Like the way people like tend to render certain things in like drawings. I'm just like, oh, how would you ever think to like? It's brilliant. It's smart, it reads, but like how would you ever think, like what in your mind told you like, oh, let me portray like this object or this, you know, abstract thing like this or something like that.
I don't know, it's cool style. I dig it.
Let me think here. I've got more. I had Killer Instinct.
Okay. I think I played as a skeleton. Was there a skeleton character?
I believe so. Yeah, there's a skeleton Viking pirate guy.
Sounds right.
I played as. I'm gonna look his name up. There's actually Killer Instinct on Game Pass if you ever wanted to just like see what the hell that is even looking like.
Yeah.
What is his name? I played a lot of Fulgore. He's the weird robot.
Oh, I got you.
Okay. And I also played as. Oh, Jesus! Of course you don't have fucking. I want to say his name was TJ Combo.
Alright.
Yeah, TJ combo it looks like. Yep, that was him. It was TJ combo. So yeah, that's Killer Instinct. Fatal Fury, Primal Instinct, which was a surprising poll.
Yeah, Primal Instinct.
Covered.
I'm surprised that one was. That's one of those games that like I'm not sure if other people played it.
I have a weird ability to just conjure abstract media that I haven't thought about in a very long time for no reason. Like I'll just be like, oh, this reminds me of this fucking movie I watched that no one in the world has also seen. And I mean, I like that I can do it because I like being able to pull such disparate connections out of my head. But again, like no one ever knows what the fuck I'm talking about. So.
But occasionally, if you find somebody who's like, I knew that thing, then they're always impressed that you brought it up.
That's true. Yeah. That's happened once or twice. It's always like, whoa, you what? One kid in high school was super psyched. I knew the Casey Jones song from the Grateful Dead, and he like went off, and I was just like, it's like their most well-known song.
He thought that he was onto something, but turns out everybody knows that song.
Well, he was onto something, but I think it was.
Well, yeah. I think that comes with the territory.
Maybe minus the 2, just on something. I mean, he definitely was. Like, he was a stoner through and through. He would, like, blast Sublime on, like, the radio when, like, we were starting class or whatever. And, like, I nothing against Sublime, but, like, he would specifically pick the songs about smoking weed. And I was just like, we get it!
Yeah, you're very edgy.
I know the beginning of the song now. Reefers, marijuana, cigarettes. If you know Sublime, you know what song I'm referencing. There's about a couple people who may eventually watch this who are just like, ah. Power Rangers fighting game. For the Sega Genesis specifically, not the beat 'em up, but like the actual side by side versus.
I haven't played that.
I was always the Green Ranger, but he was a secret character you had to unlock by beating the game first.
I mean,
so I'd play as Red.
I liked the Green Ranger. I think most people did.
Well, then that's probably what you would have picked.
But there was a Super Nintendo Power Rangers game. I played a lot of it. It was pretty awesome.
That's the beat 'em up, right?
Yeah, it's like whatever.
Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time. Yeah, that's what I was gonna use to describe it. But then I was like, that might be too bizarre of a way to describe it. Yeah. It was like
Never feel ashamed to do those references to me.
And yeah, I should. And I just played it. I liked Zach. I think he was the Black Ranger, but he was cool.
Zach was the Black Ranger. That is right. Missing
all
his
different powers and stuff. And he was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Power Rangers and be like, "Wow, that dude's missing his finger"?
No, I watched so much Power Rangers. In fact, everything. I was like if you went in my brother's room, everything was dinosaurs. In my room was everything Power Rangers.
Nice.
So,
this is gonna sound weird. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
you were
but no, I didn't notice his finger.
Oh yeah, he's missing a finger. His like ring finger on his like right hand or something like that, or his middle finger, I think actually.
But
it's one of those fingers.
Only when he's at high school, and then when he's in his costume, he has all his hands or his fingers. Because he's
exactly.
An actor in the costume.
Mm-hmm. That is correct, Mundo. And the glove has all the fingers. Yeah, and it bends.
Well, also doing all sorts of amazing things. So the fact that he can just summon a finger along with the giant mech isn't that hard to believe.
Well, I mean, I think it's like Assassin's Creed. In order to learn dance fighting, he had to give it up. I forget what I think he calls it. I think he calls it Hip Hop Kaido or something like that. Like he has like his thing in like the show. Like
about that. You're right.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to say, weird thing about Power Rangers is it's one of those shows where I hated it as a child.
Oh, I loved it.
I don't know why I hated it as a kid. It's right up my fucking alley. But like as a child, I was just like, no, I'm above I'm above Power Rangers. Like, I'm too good for this shit. This shit's dumb. Look at all these bright colors. Like, I like gargoyles.
I like gargoyles too.
Yeah, me too. But like, for some reason, I had to be edgy.
Probably because it was popular.
Probably, honestly, that's why I probably stopped. But like, I love Power Rangers now as an adult. Like, I love to get drunk and watch Power Rangers and try and draw the bad guys in it.
Yeah.
Mostly I just like getting drunk and yeah. Mostly I just like getting drunk and watching Power Rangers, but I mean, it's fun stuff though. It's a good show. It's not a good show actually. It's
good for what it is.
Garbage. It's good for what it is.
For selling toys and selling toys.
Yeah.
That was its only purpose.
Yeah. Bulk and Skull, first homosexual couple in a children's show.
Were they?
No.
I was gonna say,
they had.
Is that canon?
They were
I don't
very.
remember that.
They had a very intimate and close relationship with each other, though. I mean, like, I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, if that's the road they decided to go, I'd be like, good for you. Glad you guys finally came to that realization that that's what this is.
But they did wear a lot of leather, so.
Yeah, and they hung out, and the one guy always had a handkerchief around his neck. Just a number of things. That's the thing I was gonna say. Oh yeah, it's like there's these two characters in Letterkenny who are almost like that as well. Like they're two straight dudes, but they also realize that like they don't want to be separate from each other.
Yeah.
So it's
that trope I think exists in a lot of different movies and TVs and stuff. Like it's just like these. I don't know.
But like in Letterkenny, it's like they don't like dance around it. In Letterkenny, they're just very much like, oh yeah, like this is what we do. Is this thing right here? Like we double team the same chick, and then and we both date her. I don't know why I'm cutting this out. Like I'm gonna color over. I'm wasting time, valuable time.
The show's almost over.
I know, right? Oh man, we got some good combo in here though. We've talked about some things. We've drawn some things.
Yeah. I've had fun kind of sticking to one drawing for the whole show. That's fun. You don't normally do that.
Yeah. It's easier. I gotta say, it is easier to hold a conversation. Like when I was outlining the letters that you so graciously colored for me, when I did the line art for the gold trim you added, like I was able to like focus on a thing I was saying because I was just like doing a very non-thinking task.
Yeah, it helps. We got Captain Cheapy and Comic Sans in the chat.
What's up, y'all?
They're here.
Burger Time, Comic Sans. First of all, once again on point with the emojis, Captain Sheepy, as always. And Comic Sans, it says pitter patter, which is a catchphrase from Letterkenny. That's correct.
I hear all my friends say it, and
yeah,
it angers me that they would dare reference something that I haven't watched.
Honestly, pitter patter's good, but it's one of those references to the show that like I think fits. I mean, it fits in a lot of situations, but it's one of those things that like I like figure it out more as a reference to Letterkenny because that's more fun to tell people. Just like figure it out.
Fair enough. I don't hear that one as much, or maybe I don't know that I'm hearing it when I do, as opposed to pitter patter being an obvious reference.
I think, well, like whenever I talk to, it's like I got Austin and Karen into the show, so like when I talk to Austin and Karen about the show, like the references we make to the show are different. Like we say Ferda, which is also a reference to the show, but like we like make a lot of reference to the show that I don't hear other people necessarily making because they're a little bit more obscure, but like those are like the things that we tend to gravitate to. So
you're Letterkenny
like,
hipsters.
We are Letterkenny hipsters. We really are. Like
we say the things that no one else likes, but we like them.
We like them. Like we're not into the popular memes like you are.
It's cool that you like that, but we just
we have a different vibe. Like you wouldn't fit in. Like it's okay. It's a very exclusive club. It's why we didn't put a sign up. Oh my god, what if I called my guy Jean-Claude Van Dynamite?
So long, but great.
I've come up with like 4 solid names for this guy.
No,
like,
it's one of the lame one, but it's okay. Sticking with that.
I like it though. It's a good. I like how he's got a giant fist and a tiny fist.
It's perspective, or it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I tried to do the perspective too, and then I quickly lost.
Whether I succeeded at that or not, I don't know, but that's really good.
there's this like Clip Studio Paint lets you use like 3D models and stuff that you can like pose like the little wooden dummies, but like in a 3D program, and they let you like mess with like the focal length of the lens that you're like the quote unquote lens that you're like viewing the thing through, so you can like really get some really solid reference for that sort of distorted perspective, because like it's I've tried eyeballing it like in this drawing and like in other things.
For even like perspective that's not like realistic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
They actually have a thing you can tick off. It's called anime perspective, and what it does is it like does that like sort of distorted like soup, like the anime perspective basically when it's like we were watching like in that ping pong thing I was showing you, like every time they zoom in on the paddle and it would like travel with the panel as it like lightning speed travels across the table. I did use the one time I spent like a meticulous amount of time using that sort of like 3D model thing to do reference for like that sort of distorted perspective. It ended up looking really good, so I need to do that sort of thing more often. Oh no, what have I done? It's gone all weird. But hold on, I'm just gonna show real quick. So I did this drawing for like this project. Oh my god, why is it rotating my thing? It's so stupid. One sec. This is being done. Sometimes this program's a little frustrating with its cropping. Okay, so oh wow, that looks great.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. I like that one.
Yeah, but if I can get it on the page. Yeah, like I used the model for like this drawing for the distorted perspective. And while in the end it kind of just ended up making his head look huge, it's the closest I've gotten to effectively accomplishing that look.
I think it reads correctly.
Cool, I'm glad. I think it probably reads more correctly when you're looking at the page as a whole, because then you realize it doesn't matter. But anyways, I've been trying to like practice drawings using that sort of perspective, because I think it'd be I've been doing a lot of practice doodling lately. Wow, it's already almost 10 o'clock. I can't believe I worked on this drawing for 2 fucking hours now.
Well, in your defense, we talk a lot. We take our time.
Yeah, I have a tendency to just like take forever on a drawing. That's also something I've been working on, is speeding up my process. And I'm not quite sure what that's gonna entail, but I think practicing drawing just more consistently is a good start.
I would have to agree. Would have to.
Doing some croquis. If you want, sometime we should just start off a DrawBomb by just doing croquis. Just like get real, what's the fucking word? Real formal education with it. I'm not sure what the actual word I'm looking for is.
You have 3 minutes, and then the timer will buzz, and you will fail.
And I'll get shocked.
I like how it came out, though. It's cool.
Thank you.
I like the contrast.
Yeah. I picked a color that was very not like your background color, just to kind of...
Yeah.
But I also wanted it to go well with red.
Well, I think you did a bang-up job.
Was that intentional?
I want to say yes, but no. I want the credit,
what to talk about these
but... His
last...
head is explosive. It's very dangerous. It's a weak point. Maybe it doesn't hurt him, though. Who knows?
Yeah, it's kind of like Dynamite Heady. It's another obscure poll for folks. No, it's actually nothing like Dynamite Heady, because he doesn't launch his head at somebody and then bring it back like a you. It's more like one of those dudes from Serious Sam who's always running at you going like, because like when his head explodes, he's dead. Like that's it. It's over.
A short shelf life. So are those? Where do the monsters come from in Serious Sam? Is there any...
From another planet. They teleport them in from like the main bad dude's planet.
Gotcha. So, if they're men with bomb heads and they die when their head blows up, do they live their life as a bomb-headed child for a while and then they grow up?
Well, I think it's kind of like the Combine in Half-Life 2. I think they get like abducted and then experimented on and then turned into like these horrible bomb creatures.
Got it.
Alright, this drawing is so close to being done.
You're almost there.
Almost there! So, what's your fat man's backstory?
That's something I had not considered.
Power Stone. Who was your character in Power Stone?
I don't know what Power Stone is.
It's a fighting game.
I assumed, but I still don't know what it is.
It's like yeah, it's a fighting game from a long time ago. It was like isometric perspective, so like it's 4 people in an arena, like running around, kind of like Bomberman looking almost, but like arena fighting. Who were you in Bomberman?
Bomberman.
That's fair.
I think that you can only be Bomberman and Bomberman, at least the one I played, Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I always wanted to play Bomberman 64. That game looked fun.
I'm trying to think of other fighting games that I might have played that you might have played.
I'm trying to think of other fighting games that exist, even if you haven't played them. I'm just trying to list them off. Dead or Alive.
Never played it.
Alright, Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball.
Volleyball. No, I never
Dead or
played
Alive Beach Volleyball Extreme Vacation. Yeah, you want to get right up where the ladies are, you know, holding you close. No, what's it? What are other fighting games? I can't even think of any. Blaze Blue.
that. Never heard of it.
Final Fantasy, what's the name of it? Final Fantasy something. Disgaea. Final Fantasy Disgaea, I think.
Never played it. I don't play many fighting games, honestly. Not really into
Yeah,
it.
not much of a fighting game.
Let's see if there's any others. I'm like looking over a list.
Let's see. What else?
Nope, you about covered them all.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time thinking of anything else. Marvel vs. Capcom.
Never played it. It's riveting stuff. You ask me about games I've never played. 99% of fighting games I have not played.
Capcom versus SNK. Or SNK versus Capcom. Okay.
What is SNK?
SNK is Fatal Fury. Or, you know,
right. We talked about that, I remember now.
Yeah. I think. There's one I'm trying to think of. Wait, no, what was the name of it? There was one that like was banned or whatever. I was gonna ask you who you were in a banned video game.
I didn't have a bootleg, I imagine. Who banned it? America?
The government.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like one of those games where it was just very like a violent fighting game, like but like early '90s. So they were like, who are you in that fighting game where you are like all the horror movie monsters like Jason and Freddy Krueger and stuff?
I don't know what that game is. It sounds awesome.
Pretty sure it existed. That or I'm coming up with an awesome game in my head right now.
I think the newest DC fighting game has a lot of those characters in it.
Makes sense. Oh yeah, so who are you in the Injustice or whatever the fuck those games are called?
I didn't play it, but I did have a buddy who loved Injustice 2 and told me about it a lot. It's actually pretty cool, some of the mechanics. You can like switch out like actually there's some like RPG elements, is probably not the right word. It's definitely not. It's there's some like you can craft your character a little bit, give them different abilities
Oh,
and
that's
tools
cool.
and a look and stuff like that, and change and sort of like level him up and make him more powerful. But he played as Hellboy, and I'd probably play as him.
Yeah, that's pretty
I do
cool.
like Hellboy. I think they added like
I do like
Ninja
Hellboy.
Turtles to it and stuff.
That's pretty
I
sick.
don't know. Curious now. Justice 2 lineup.
Who are you in the Persona fighting game?
I never played it.
All right, who are you in WrestleMania? Road to WrestleMania.
I usually, when I used to play wrestling games, that was back a long time ago. Plays The Rock usually, and then I'd usually make my own character. It'd be something really obscure, crazy looking.
Yeah, I usually made my own character, or I'd play as Shawn Michaels or the Hardy Boys. All right. I had a couple other ones lined up actually. I figured.
Really, I'm amazed because I feel like you listed everything, and now we're digging deep.
Yeah, I'm just really trying. Def Jam.
Never played it.
Damn. Def Jam's 2.
Do you think I played that one? I can tell you I did not.
Def Jam 3. Streets of New York.
I played as Snoop Dogg.
I played as Big Boy.
Played as Queen Latifah.
She wasn't in that game, so you're fucking lying to me.
She wasn't.
I'm trying to think of other fighting games. Let me see. I know there's more. I know I can think of some.
Def Jam.
Oh,
I forgot that existed. How weird.
Right, me too. Def Jam 3 was fucking dope, man. Kyle and I played the demo of that game for like 6 hours straight. And then like 3 hours in is when we realized you could smash their face against the screen camera that's like watching the whole thing, and like it was dope. That was a great game. And the fact that there was Big Boy in it was kind of fucking cool.
Some weird Big Boy. There's some weird characters in these. Carmen Electra's in the original Def Jam for some reason.
That's weird.
That's weird.
Was she dating a rapper?
I don't know. She was dating Dennis Rodman in those days.
Huh?
No, I don't know. Interesting.
Let me think.
I like how this has devolved into us just discussing fighting games. Well, I mean, I guess that's the drawing, so why wouldn't we?
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm just finishing I'm almost done. I just gotta do the final touches.
Now I'm just researching I'm reading Wikipedia articles about Def Jam games. That's where my night is gone.
Speaking of Carmen Electra being strangely in Def Jam, I still find it very strange that even though she's like a NASCAR racer or whatever, so like I get it, it makes sense, but like why is Danica Patrick in Sonic Racing All-Stars?
She is?
Yeah, dude, she's
Why?
fucking unlockable. She's like the first character you unlock. It's like, hey, guess what? Thanks for beating like the first chapter. Here's Danica Patrick. It's just like,
I have to say something that may not be a popular opinion, but I don't understand how Sonic has the popularity that it does. Yes, the original games were great when they came out, and you know there's a nostalgia factor. But like, it's like if the trajectory of like if Mario stopped making like new and interesting games, and started like doing drugs, it's just like it's weird as shit. All these weird story elements are added in. The games themselves are clunky and weird, and like the best Sonic games to come out have been like the throwbacks, like Sonic Colors, and like that one that's like got the same graphic style as like the old Sonic Rusher or some shit like that. But yeah, Sonic was cruising on. Man, your drawing looks really nice. Thanks.
But Sonic was cruising by on good vibes alone. Like that was about it.
Strange.
Yeah. Alright, I just gotta do one more layer, and then I am officially done. I don't care anymore.
Ghostface Killer is in every Def Jam game.
Dope, he would.
DMX is in one of them.
Makes sense.
Funkmaster Flex.
Get the back the fuck up. You don't know me like that. Get back, motherfucker. You don't know me like that. That's a great music video.
I think Queen Latifah was my favorite character.
Is she in this?
I told you she was.
That's right, you did.
You said I was lying.
I said she's not in Def Jam, and then you looked it up, and she was.
Nah, she wasn't. I lied.
You motherfucking liar! I knew it. I was like,
twice.
why is she? She's an actress. She's not even involved in the rap.
Carmen Electra's in the game.
That's fair. That's why I believe you, is because I was like, well, if Carmen Electra can make the cut.
Didn't Queen Latifah have a start in music?
I mean, I think she can sing. I wouldn't be surprised.
She started as a rapper, singer, songwriter, actress, producer.
Huh. Interesting.
Pretty sure. Yeah. She started in hip hop. So she belongs in Def Jam, and I will campaign
I guess she
to
does.
get her put into a game that's been out for over 10 years. I will dig it, rip that code open.
Let's get a patch in there.
Patch Queen Latifah in.
You can do that though. You could easily all those games now. You can patch and add shit to now so easily because the cost of the resources is so minimal compared to a modern game. It's I have this one game, Titan Quest, which is kind of like a Diablo, action adventure point and whack sort of game. You click them and they die sort of game. And they came out with expansion packs very recently for this game that's over 10 years old, and I think they release expansion packs every once in a while that it's $5, but it probably costs them no money or resources at all to make this expansion pack for this 10-year-old game. And then you just get a quick buck, and they usually do it around the time they're releasing another game that they can kind of promo too.
Oh, I like
It's
your little...
weird.
That is weird when they do that, something that's old.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. It's is it just people are passionate about the source material, or is there actually a community still playing that game?
Right. I don't know. Alright, I think I'm done.
Okay.
Wait, actually, I'm sorry. One more thing, and then I'm officially... Does this work? I'm trying to do a rim light effect. I'm just gonna do something slightly different. I'm sorry. I know I said I'm almost done.
Oh, good. I will give you until 10:15, and then I'm calling it. I'm saving it, and then I'm going to, put it on the internet, and you can't take things down from the internet once they're up there.
It's forever.
So
Streisand effect is an effect.
Right.
Wait, do you think that improves it, or?
Actually, I'm not. But the line in the middle on the left side should probably still be red, right? Using here.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
between his eyes, the one on the left. And I think it kind of reads.
That makes sense because it's kind of it's making it's adding the cast light to the other stick, but it's also not getting cast light or something like that.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I just think it looks.
Lighting is hard, man. Yeah. Lighting is hard as shit, dude. It's hard to do. It's hard to figure out.
I just pretend to know what I'm doing, and then
take it till you make it, buddy. Take it till you make it.
All right, I'm saving it.
All right. Wait, should we? Oh wait, we should write "Choose your fighter." Should we, or does it fucking matter at this point?
I'll write it on the post, but
there you go.
I hate to cover up these beautiful drawings with more text.
Fair, very fair.
There it is. All right. Well, that was an episode.
Wow. Didn't go as we planned, but we also didn't plan it, so
That's
boom.
right. So maybe it did go as we planned.
There you go. The best kind of plan is the one you don't gotta make.
I make plans, but then God spits in my mouth. I think that's how the phrase goes, right?
I mean,
if you make plans,
he spits in my mouth.
God will spit in your mouth.
He spits in my mouth by asking to, so I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Well, thanks for watching.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you both, Captain Cheapy and Comic Zans. Thank you both so much for joining us. Thank you anyone who watches this show after the fact on YouTube, which you can find most episodes if I don't forget to upload them. Brandon, you got anything to plug?
I do not. Everybody stay safe. How about you?
I guess I can plug my portfolio site again. Otherwise, I ain't got shit to plug. It's Superfly Art, SUPAFLYART.me. Superflyart.me. Otherwise, hope you guys stay safe, stay inside. Don't go to the bank, please. For the love of God, do not go to the bank. I'm so tired of people. And if you go to the bank, don't pull your mask down to talk to me, or don't peek around the plexiglass window to try and talk to me.
Is the window transparent?
Yes.
Then why are they peeking around it?
Because they're trying to
windows?
They're trying to speak so I can hear more clearly, because it does muffle the sound quite a bit. But I always tell them, like, you're undoing everything this is here for. Get back behind the goddamn window.
All right. Well, you stay safe as well.
Thank you. I'll do my best. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, and see you next Monday.
All right. See you guys. See you Monday. See you next week. Stay safe. Stay out.